Hello dear students, so now we will be moving ahead in this chapter number 3 of class 7 science, that is fiber to fabric. So today we will be talking about the occupational hazards. If in any occupation you have some hazards, such hazards are known as the occupational hazards. Okay, so the whole system, the whole process or the complete process of rearing the sheep and making wool out of it again is having some hazards there. Okay, like suppose if any person is there who is working in the coal mine, he also would have some hazards there. His that is his lungs might be affected by the coal there. So similarly, any person who is working with the sheep there would also have some hazards. Like you have a common disease there that is known as the anthrax. So anthrax is an occupational hazard. Okay, so it is most common when a person is working with the sheep there. Okay, so anthrax is the most occupational hazard in case when we are working with the sheep there. Okay, so it mainly affects our blood system. Okay, it is also known as the blood disease, and another name for the anthrax is the Sauter's disease. Okay, so let's write this. So the hazards related to the occupations are known as the occupational hazards. Okay, for example, anthrax, it's a common disease caused by bacteria, and it is common with the persons working with the sheep. Okay, it affects the blood, therefore also known as the blood disease, or we also call it as the Sauter's disease. Okay, so it is caused by the bacteria, so it's an occupational hazard. It is most common in case when the persons are working with the sheep there. Okay, so just write it down. So now we would discuss about the next important fiber, that is the silk. Okay, so before discussing this, let's discuss about the history of evolution of silk, how the evolution of silk took place. So if you see, initially the silk was originated in China there. Okay, so let's say this is the China here. So initially the silk, this is Indian part. Okay, so initially the silk was originated in Chinese region here. So here during those days, the emperor of China once visited his garden. So he saw some white marks on the mulberry leaf there. Okay, so then he asked his fellow why these white marks are there. So this is how the silk was discovered in China. Okay, but if you see, initially the silk was kept closed in China. It was only in China. The silk, the sericulture, what you call, it was only confined to China. Okay, but later it traveled across the world also through the different routes, such as these are the land routes, and then it traveled from the through the sea routes also. Okay, so most commonly the silk from China traveled through the land routes. Okay, the silk, the trade of silk was there through the land routes to many parts of the Europe here. Okay, so this is how the trade of silk was there, and the route became famous as the silk route. Okay, the land route through which the trade of silk was there from China to other parts of the Europe. So such routes became famous as the silk route there. Okay, so this is how the silk trade was there from China to other parts of the Europe, and it gave good business to Chinese people there in the European nation. Okay, so this is all about the history of silk. Okay, then from the next lecture we would be discussing about the sericulture. Okay, okay, let's write this first. So originally the silk was discovered in China. Later the idea of silk was traveled across the world through different routes. Most commonly it was through the land routes, and such routes became famous as the silk routes. Okay, and the trade of silk gave good business to Chinese people in the European market there. Okay, so that is all for today. Would be discussing some new topics later in the lecture set. Till then, stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you. Have a good day.